Hi, welcome to the second update of Calling Tigers Media. Now, if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I've been putting out some content here, which is an original show. The idea of Calling Tiger Media is for me to showcase my ideas and generate an entire universe within what I'm calling the Prycon universe. Now, what is the Prycon universe? It's basically something I've had thought of for many years, and it's only with the advent of technology and things moving forward the way that they has enabled me to bring some of my ideas and visions to life. Initially, as a teenager, I wanted to be an author, and I still want to do the writing and be an author. But with the advent and the development of AI technology, I'm able to take my ideas further. So what have I been doing since the last update? Well, I've moved in officially to the office and it's going really well. I'm producing, I feel, reasonably good content. I've got a nice new series started up called The Salamander, and The Salamander is based on a short story that is actually available on the Amazon bookstore. So if you want to read up on some of my work, then check out the Amazon bookstore. What have I learned recently? I was going to do and focus on using Unreal Engine to make films, but that is a little bit of a learning curve, and I've got the technology, I've got the computer, but I thought with the advent of AI, I would experiment with that. And as a creator, the things that you can do with AI now are really helpful. Now, there is a panic and a worry within the creative community that AI is going to take over everything and you're not going to need writers or creators in the future. And I understand that concern, but I feel that the genie's out of the bottle and we're not going to be able to go back to a situation where AI doesn't exist. That's just never going to happen. So what we need to do as creators is embrace the technology and use it to our advantage. That is what I've done with this channel, and that's what I'm going to be doing with this studio. That doesn't mean to say that I've given up on Unreal Engine. I'm going to also learn Unreal Engine as well, because there are some things that AI cannot do, and that is for more complex and more dynamic scenes. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I've created a news channel, which is Galactic Pulse. And Galactic Pulse is telling the story in a news format of my universe. I've done 2 introduction videos to my universe, and they're available on this channel. So if you want to check them out, please do. And leave me some comments. I appreciate your feedback. That then got me on to doing the Salamander. Now, the Salamander is based on a group of characters who operate kind of in the shady areas of the law, and it's their adventures avoiding capture, avoiding upsetting the criminal cartels, whilst scraping by in the Prycon universe. Yeah, it was yourself for that. I don't want this to sound too marvelly, because it's not. This is something, as I say, I've had in my mind for many years. Now, initially, the story was going to be told over 9 books with the character Prycon. If you want to find out more about Prycon, then why don't you check out my book Broken Ceasefire, which is available on the Amazon bookstore. That was really the start of this journey, was writing about Prycon and his adventures with the conflict that he has. He's a Marine, Space Marine, and Earth has disappeared. Earth has vanished. It's been annihilated. So we no longer inhabit this world. And mankind has set up a group of colonies in the far future, in the far distant stars. And part of that process was we've attracted attention from an alien race called the Artrons, and they just want to feed off of us, basically. They want to harvest humanity and use us as cattle. There has been various conflicts, which I'll get to in different modes of media, but the main focus with Prycon and Broken Ceasefire is he's a Space Marine who has pretty much lost everything. Thought that everything was going to be fine after the last war finished. But the Arctrons are quite a devious species, and they've lured humanity to feel safe at a time when we're actually at our most vulnerable. And it's up to Prycon and his crew to find systems, find weapons, technology, and methods of taking down the Arctrons. As I was writing that, I've kind of felt that there's a lot of space in the history and the lore of the worlds that I've created, which is why I decided to do what I'm doing now with the AI technology. Then I did a competition with a writing group, and that's how I got the story for Xander's Salvation, which involves the crew of the Salamander, led by Captain Jack. So what I've done and what I've learned over the last couple of months or so is to use AI to pad out and build the universe that I've created. And like I mentioned, I've created Galactic Pulse, which will give you news bulletin stories in short format that will lead into things that are happening with the Salamander, for example, where we've got Jack on various missions trying to scrape a living. If you buy or if you read Xander's Salvation, you'll come across a period of history where Prycon isn't the main character. Prycon is very much in the early days of his career, and he makes an appearance in the Salamander. But find out more about that if you go and read the book. So what I'm doing now is using AI to bring Jack and the crew of the Salamander alive and all those various stories that he's going to have. I've managed to write season 1, that the whole 8 episodes are scripted, and I've outlined season 2 as well. And at the end of season 2, we'll kind of lead into the actual book that's on Amazon. And then what I hope to do is continue the story in book format as well as various shows. Now, the AI that I'm using, I'm finding it restrictive with regards to doing space battles, because obviously in science fiction universe, you have space battles with various spaceships. And what I've learned is with the AI, it's not, it doesn't allow you to do these dynamic scenes. So the writing wise is fine. The characters are good. I'm learning how to create consistent characters, because one thing with AI technology is that you say, I want a man sitting at a desk doing a YouTube video, and it will give you an image of a man at a desk, and not everything's right. So you tweak it with various prompts, and then you can have the right setting, but then the man looks totally different. He's maybe aged, or he's got facial hair, or there are so many differences that they have with the AI because it interprets what you're inputting differently. So a solution with this that I have found is face swapping. I had this idea that I could create characters and the AI will generate the image more or less as I would like it to. But to keep the consistency with the characters, I'm using face swapping software. And that way it really defines the features. And that's going really well. The limitations with the AI so far are the 5 to 10 second clips that they give you. Some will give you 5, most of them give you 5, 1 or 2 will give you 10. And it's also the quality of the prompts that you use. It will define the quality of the content that you get. So it is really about narrowing down on a granular level what it is you actually want this AI to develop. The other thing, and this is where I'm going to be using Unreal Engine, is for the space scenes, it will show you a ship, which is what you've created, and you can use an image so you can reference the ship to keep the consistency. But the camera angles aren't right. You can't, for example, zoom in onto a ship as it's passing by on the screen, not clearly. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of months, possibly by the end of the year, is find out and learn how to put 3D models into Unreal Engine. And then what I shall do is have the model, the ship, in Unreal Engine, and use the Unreal Engine cameras to zoom in and around for a full 360-degree angle on the ships. Then I'll have to edit that into the storyline and then add on the special effects. The thing that I'm finding I haven't really touched on yet is the sound engineering part. So I've created the stories, I've got the scripts and everything ready. The editing process is going to be another level to learn, because the AI technology, it's not there. I haven't found it yet, and there might be somebody watching this that says, "Oh, do you know what, Wayne? This is how you do that." But I haven't been able to have a scene where I've got the ship zooming in with guns blazing. I've kind of got the salamander being attacked, and you can see sparks and that come off the hull, which is good. But then again, the AI, how it's interpreted it, has put in a second ship. So as the salamander's flying along, it's only for 5 seconds. You'll then get this other little ship whizzing around behind it, which it kind of suits the purpose. So it's one of those happy accidents. But in order to do the cinematography the way that I'd like to do, I will have to input some Unreal Engine scenes. And that, again, is something else that I'm going to have to learn what to do. So if you haven't checked out the Salamander, please do, and leave me your comments and tell me what you think. Now, what I have done and what I've changed from episode 2 to episode 1 is I was using video AI. I should have written the names down. There's so many AI platforms out there. InVideo is the one that I used to do the script, because that also gives you stock images. But I was okay with episode 1 with how that turned out, because I'm learning and things will improve. But on reflection, because it's a narrative, so you have somebody narrating the story to the point of Jack got up from his seat, Jack looked out of the screen kind of thing. That's not how shows and movies work. Some of them do, but there's like a character behind it, whereas there's no character behind the narrator. What I've done for episode 2 is cut out the narration and used a lot more visual videos and clips to show you what's going on. And I feel it's come along, it's a lot better. Quality-wise, it's a lot better. It's more of a TV show and has the vibe that I want for these episodes. So that's why I'm going to have to learn Unreal Engine so that I can generate more of those actual scenes. I mean, one scene that you'd often have in Star Trek, for example, is the ship, the Enterprise, just in orbit over a planet, and then they'll cut to another scene. Well, if I was used InVideo, it would say Salamander in orbit above a ship, above a planet. Well, you don't need that narration, so I can do away with that narration, but trying to get the right prompts so the AI develops the image of the ship in orbit is a little bit tricky, because it's probably camera angles and stuff that I will learn, but it hasn't focused correctly on that. You still have the ship flying by, or sometimes the ship will distort. So what I am going to do is incorporate Unreal Engine cinematics with the InVideo content that I'm doing. If you want any help with your AI project, then do get in touch. And yeah, that's where we're at at the moment. So stick around. The Salamander episodes are possibly going to go out once every 2 weeks. And the Galactic Pulse episodes, I'm trying to get into a rhythm of 3 episodes a week, because there's so many excuse me, there's so many stories there that I can tell, and hopefully without confusing you guys, the audience. And that's where we're at. I'm really impressed with The Office. Everything's going really well at the moment, and it's just a question of narrowing down time for me to do the content and scripts, and it's really enjoyable. I do feel I feel under a lot of pressure to get this right, because it is only me, and I want this to be the best that it can be, and I want you to enjoy what I do. If you do enjoy yourself here, please subscribe to the channel and tell your friends and spread the word, because the only way that we're going to get out of this rut, I feel, with pop culture and movies is if we grab the bull by the horns ourselves and roll our sleeves up and get involved. And that's what I'm doing with Cooling Tiger Media. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me so far. Please leave a comment, like and share, and I'll be back very soon with another update. And don't forget to check out the shorts feed and also the Salamander episodes going out hopefully every other week. So take care of yourselves. I'll be back very soon with another update, probably just before Christmas, the way things are. And I'll see you then. Thank you. Just got to end this now.